Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Discovery Pod with Eve. We've got a very exciting show today with an iconic actor from Baywatch. But before we delve into his background, I'm joined by my friend, Melissa Neesmith. She's an actress, and it's so good to have you back, Melissa.
Thanks
what an
for having me
amazing day we've had.
Yes.
We've been hosting quite a few episodes, and this is actually the last episode of the season,
yes,
right?
It's been just
and
so
I'm
busy.
so glad I got to do this with you.
I know.
So Melissa, I'm so excited for this last episode that we're taping because we've got someone who actually
We have my great friend David Chokachi. I am so excited to have him on. The history that he has in the industry, and
Before we delve into David's
crazy.
background, yes, I mean it's incredible with Baywatch, such an iconic show. Before we delve into his background, tell us. I know besides Bodyman that you both are in that movie. What else have you been working on that you'd like everyone to know about?
So last year I also got the premiere of the movie I worked on, The Dream. So that was premiered. You were there for that.
Front and center.
Yes. And then right into Bodyman for a few months.
Amazing.
And then, those were the two major things that happened last year.
It was big.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
It wasn't little things. It was big things.
It was big things,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy. So please go ahead and introduce our guest.
I'm so excited. So David Chokachi he's a hunk. I'm sorry. He's hot. He has always been the love of the women on Baywatch. He played Cody Madison, which was he's your not typical. I can't even say typical. He is beyond gorgeous, blonde, hunky, just everything
Tanned.
that you could possibly think of when it came to California. And he is an amazing actor. He's an amazing friend. He's an animal activist. He stands for animals that, I thought I was bad. He's amazing when it comes to animals and rescues, and we're going to talk all about that. It's I cannot wait to start exposing Wings of Rescue and even talk about Henry a little bit if we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just let's get into it.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for this.
David, it's so good to have you
Thank
with
you
us.
so
Welcome.
much.
David, when, of course, everyone knows your character on Baywatch. Everyone knows of Baywatch.
Right.
But I am curious, how did you get started?
Let's see. I grew up in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and I had a fascination with movies, and we used to make our own home movies. We'd do Miami Vice ripoffs. My brother and I, my buddies, my parents would leave for the weekend or even the day. My sister had a Camaro, and we'd do these. We'd shoot these. We'd grab my dad's VHS camera and do these. It was hilarious. There was no sound. You couldn't put sound to the recorder, so someone had to hit play on the music box, whatever thing. So the lights are off, someone hits play, then we turn on the lights, and then the scene starts. So there's music in the because you couldn't edit it in later. So, and I had a fascination with it, but it was never where I'm from. It's very blue collar in a sense, and New England, it's the chances of me succeeding as an actor in Hollywood, it's good. It's like winning the lottery, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, and I went to a college. I went to Bates College in Maine. I played football and lacrosse, sports all the way through my high school and college years. Ever since I was little, my mom was like, you guys aren't going to get in trouble because you're not going to have time to get in trouble because you're going to go from one sport to the next. And that's how we grew up. We were either playing sports or working. As soon as I was tall enough to push a lawnmower, I started mowing lawns, and then I never did not have a job. I always did. My parents but the greatest thing I got from them was work ethic. I can outwork pretty much anyone. When it comes to you name it, I'm just and it was from them. It was just hardcore discipline, and you guys are gonna work. And my dad was a surgeon, and he came from nothing and created this incredible life. But his way of relating to my brother and I was through work. It wasn't he wasn't the typical dad hey, I'm going to talk to you about the birds and the bees. I don't think I ever got that story. By the way, I had to figure all that stuff out on my own. I was wait, what is this?
Is your brother an actor?
No, he lives in Bozeman. He works for the USGS. He has a PhD in fish biology.
Wow, very smart.
Yeah, he's a backcountry hunter. He taught his daughters how to hunt, and they get their own food. They cut it up. They put it in the freezer, and basically live off the land in a sense.
Wow.
He's a hardcore dude. But so he works for he has his PhD and he works, but the whole thing got shut down because it's government, and they keep threatening to cut his whole department, even though he's got tenure and all this stuff. And he needs like 2 more years to get his pension, but if they cut his department, it's like he might have to go do some horrible like federal job somewhere just to get his pension. Like, it's so messed up. And meanwhile, like, his brain is so like, so he spends a lot of time out in the rivers and the wilds. Like, he tags fish. They hike way back into remote area, grizzly bear country, all in the West.
Wow.
They tag the fish and they study how habitat influences the survival of these fish, whether it's, you know, cows or a farm nearby or whatever it is. And so, yeah, he's a beast in a different way. Yeah.
So the animal bug kind of hit the entire family on that.
Yeah. Although, yeah, I'm probably the most, when it comes to like the dogs, I was always the one in my family, like, just, you know, like growing up, we always had dogs. My parents, you know, they had a German Shepherd always, and then they got to a point where they never, if one was getting older, they'd get a new one because they never wanted to be without one. So I grew up with them, and then I always pretty much had dogs, except for kind of my Baywatch years, and when I was on Witchblade, I didn't have a dog just because I was gone all the time. But you know, just I always felt like I had an affinity. You know, if there was turmoil at the house or like parents fighting, whatever, I'd go to the dog, or the dog would come in my room, and it was like it's a source of like comfort, you know, when there's stress going on in your life as a kid. So they're really, like, I think they're invaluable. Like, they're so overlooked on like how much they can help humans if you take a beat to observe, or how they live life. Like, they wake up every day, their tail is wagging within 30 seconds. Like, humans wake up, they're like, oh my God, what am I doing today? My mind, like, you know, we're negative, we're wired, like, so you got to fight that constant mental.
Wow.
Dogs are wired opposite. They're just like, love, happiness, let's go. Like, so
You know,
I'm trying to
I
live
had-
like a dog.
It's amazing because I had the pleasure of helping. David invited me
You
to help.
showed me some pictures.
Wings of Rescue to help load like 190 dogs.
Wow.
Yep.
Something like that. And it was just the most satisfying experience I think I've ever had when it comes to animals, because I love animals so much. And it's one of those things to where you're right. I went home so happy and so fulfilled. My
That's
heart was
amazing.
just full.
Yeah.
And you know, it's an amazing organization. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Wings of Rescue, I met them during the fires because ever since 2000, I've been an advocate or an ambassador for like Best Friends Animal Society, and they said, hey, during the Palisades fire, so when there's a natural disaster, they knew, all these groups knew, like, there's going to be a massive displacement of dogs and cats, and they have no place to go, so they end up in the shelters. And if the shelters are full, they'll straight up euthanize the entire group in the shelter just to make room for incoming. So it's like, they were like in terms of like being ahead of the curve, in terms of they had flights going immediately, and they asked me to come out and load flights. I had so much negative energy because I felt like Ellie was burning and I couldn't do anything to stop it. So the guy was like, on the first day, he was like, hey, I need someone to come in and help stack the crates. I was like, please, you know, and I went in, I just put my head down, and like, I didn't like take a breath until we were done, because the dogs were in the crates. It would happen to be hot. They had a long flight. I was like, I could just see the whole scenario. And after I left, because we're stacking like everything from 110-pound dog in a large crate to little dog crates to cats. So, and you don't ever want to leave, say, pack it in efficiently, because then if you leave one animal, that's a risk. So afterwards, the guy, like, he asked the people from Best Friends, he's like, who was that guy? Because he goes, in all my years of running Wings of Rescue, I've never had a volunteer work so hard, like, just put his head down, and also have a true love of dogs. Like, and they were like, you don't know who that is? That's the guy from Baywatch. He was like, what? Not that he actually didn't care about the Baywatch thing, but it was more just the work ethic. And like, I grew up on a construction. I grew up building houses, like, with my brother-in-law, but we did everything, demo. So, but you always, in New England, it's like, if you're on a construction crew and you're not high speed and you're not paying attention, looking to like anticipate problems, or they're basically like, why don't you go get coffee for the group? So it's like, anytime I'm in a work environment, I'm looking to solve problems before they even happen. And that guy recognized it. And I did like 7 more flights just loading. And then he called out of the blue. And he called out of the blue like a month later. He's like, would you be willing to be a flight crew member where we would fly you to wherever the flight originates? you help load the dogs, and then you fly with them,
Wow.
and then
Oh.
drop them all off, and then we fly you home. So.
Oh, that's incredible.
But they fly at-risk pets. So like dogs and cats are considered pets. Like they're previously owned or strays sometimes, but that are at risk means they're in danger of imminent euthanasia. And they also fly into they're only group that flies into active natural disaster and pulls dogs, cats out, and they always go in because they're coming in. They could go in empty, but they choose to always bring humanitarian aid, veterinarian aid, dog food, cat food, anything they can do. Like they were in Texas when all those girls died. They were flying in supplies for people, for animals. They were in Jamaica. They were in the Puerto Rico hurricane. Every disaster. Obviously, the Palisades fire. So, when they're not doing natural disasters, they're actively looking to take the pressure off the shelter systems in California, Texas, Florida are probably the three worst.
That's fantastic. So before we get into your new body of work, obviously we got to talk about Baywatch because it's such an iconic show, right?
How could we not?
I mean, how could we not? And of course with the casts, with all of those amazing actors. What a trailblazing. So how did you audition? How did you hear about Baywatch?
I did. I had a really small theatrical agent when I got here, and she had a good modeling department. It was more like athletic guys. I was called Hero, I think. But I moved here like I got here the Saturday night before the Northridge earthquake on Monday, whatever. So that 36 hours before Northridge, I drove out here from Massachusetts.
Wow.
Got to LA, went to a party Saturday night. Sunday night, was even trippier. I'll squeeze this in. We went to, remember the movie Shortcuts by Robert Altman?
Yes.
In the movie, there's an earthquake.
Yeah.
And it's not a disaster film, but in the story, it's like Robert Downey Jr. I think he's hiking, and so we're at like the 10 o'clock showing on Sunset Strip because my buddy's brother lived on Larrabee above the Viper Room, and in the movie it's Sunday night. It's like, and all of a sudden there's an earthquake in the story, and I'm like, oh my God, imagine if that ever happened, like for real. Go to bed at like 12:31, and like 3:26 a.m. I'm sleeping on the ground next to the entertainment center, and the glass doors going wham, wham, wham.
Whoa.
I'm like, what the F is going on? I got up to like run, and like the floor dropped, and I pancaked, and then my buddy was hiding under a sleeping bag pretending it wasn't happening.
Wow.
The other guy was in the other room just out of it, I'm like, dude, let's get out of here. Like, even though it was a 2-story building, but that was my welcome to LA. But I got the audition, and I knew it was replacing the new young lead. So I was working with, his name is Vincent Chase. He's soon passed, but he was an awesome, legendary acting coach. Bill Pullman studied with him. Some really great like actor guys, and he would sit there. He had 5 dogs in the room. He would polish rocks while you're doing your scenes, and then he would just give feedback. And there was a couple times he was like, in the beginning when he just wanted to see like how far are you willing to go, even if you don't know anything. And he's like, okay, so you've written a letter to yourself, and you're reading the letter, but I wanted to bring out some sort of emotion, and I wrote this letter, and I'm just reading it, but I think I'm reading it to myself, and I just start like bawling, and he's like, Jesus, dude, you don't even know what's going on here, and you're just tapping into an emotion in front of a bunch of people you don't know.
Wow.
But so we worked on it. I went in. This is the best part. They've already seen like 1,000 guys, East Coast, West Coast. They couldn't find the guy because the executive producer's wife had written a very specific. The character was an Olympic hopeful swimmer from the Midwest, so he had to kind of look like country a little bit, but. So when I walked into the casting room, I just remember the 2 casting directors, Fern and Susie, like their heads were down. They were beaten. They were just like, this is a nightmare.
Going through all the
like we can't find the guy. I walk in, they go, and their first words, I didn't say a word. They go, "Holy S, you're the guy.
Wow.
You are the effing guy." And I was like, what? They go, "You don't understand. She has someone specific in mind visually. Please tell us you can act." And then I was like,
oh my God.
Gulp. And so I went on. I had to do, a test in front of Fremantle, like all the executives with Hasselhoff, and Hasselhoff's completely trying to mess up my audition. I'm like, dude, would you? He's like, literally, he's like cracking jokes and making fun of my name, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to learn to get the job here in front of like 30 executives around a horseshoe table, and he's like fully seeing to like where if I'm gonna like buckle, and I rolled with it. And then we had to do a swim test, and one of the Greg Bonan, who is one of the actual creators of the show, he's age 73. He's an active lifeguard. He runs the junior lifeguard program up at Zuma Beach, which my daughter is entering her 6th year, and my daughter will be in his program because he does the cadets, the A's. But as soon as so we had this big thing because it was me and Gina Lee Nolan coming in at the same time, and so we were doing the swim test, and it was like Entertainment Tonight and all the producers, and because they've been burned before, they've casted an actress who she didn't tell them she was deadly afraid of sharks.
Oh, wow.
So they go to shoot a rescue scene. She runs to the water's edge, and she goes, "I'm not going any further." And they're like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I'm scared of sharks. I'm not going in the ocean." They're like, "We'll cast you." She's a series regular. They're like, "This is in this first scene for first rescue," and they're like,
Wow.
So they have to cut to a stunt double, does a rescue, hand it to her. Nightmare. So ever since then, they did swim tests to make sure, and then
wow.
and I crushed the swim test, and I'd been on a swim team. I taught sailing.
It was just the right role for you at the right time.
And the one producer who's the active lifeguard now, he was the one who he was pretty much the creator in the sense that he wanted athletes, he wanted swimmers, especially for my role. Like, you can't portray an Olympic hopeful swimmer by going to the pool for a month. Like, I've been swimming like on a swim team and in the ocean my whole life. So it was like all the stuff I had growing up like translated into this moment. And it was like, they were like, "That's the guy," you know?
Incredible.
Yeah.
What a great story.
Yeah.
But you had the look.
Yeah, he definitely had
It was so funny because it was a little bittersweet. I get the call and they're like, "Congratulations, you got it," you know, and they go, "But here's the deal. You're only guaranteed 7 out of 22. You're kind of on a probation. If they like you, you can do all 22 out of 22. If they don't like you, they can drop you after 7. I was like, "Oh, okay." You know, so, but I really just, I was made for that show.
Yeah.
I was a certified scuba diver. I knew how to drive boats. Most people don't know how to drive boats, most actors or wave runners. And so once they saw my capabilities, and then I also saw really quickly how many, like the traps of Hollywood. And I was like, okay, I'm avoiding that. I'm not buying a house. I drove the same Toyota 4Runner for like 20 years. And then like discipline wise, I just was like, okay, if I'm in like the best shape out of anybody on here, they're going to write more for me. So, and I kept working with my acting coach every night. So it would be like, go to work, go to the gym, go to the acting coach day after day after day. And eventually I did like 18 out of 22 my first season. And towards the end, they said they let me pick who my love interest is going to be. They're like, "Chokachi, who do you want? Do you want Pam or Yasmin Bleeth?" And I was like, and I loved Yasmin too because she was really great. But Pam and I had this really just, I don't know, self-deprecating humor. We made fun of like, I remember our personal things. Like,
do you keep in touch with all of the cast?
A lot of them. Pam is kind of separated. Hasselhoff, I do. Everybody.
Where is he now?
Hasselhoff,
Yeah.
He's around. He's here, but he's married a woman from who lives in Wales, so he spends a lot of time in Europe. Pam is obviously has moved on, like thinking she's I'm not gonna say anything negative. I'm super happy for you, Pam. I hope you crush it. She is crushing it. It's amazing what she's doing. Everybody else, I mean, we've had, unfortunately, one of the main guys who was a real lifeguard passed away, Mike Newman, but I got to go down. I was really close to him, and me and the director, we did a documentary, and the director of the documentary and his wife called and was like, "He's got a couple days, he's on palliative care, you guys should come down like right now." So we blasted to UCLA, like spent time with him. He wasn't conscious, but everybody had written emails, and it was the weirdest thing because when I walked in, you know, it was super hard, but my buddy, the director, couldn't even read the emails that like Kelly Slater wrote one because he was on the show. Jack Johnson, because Mike also lived on the North Shore of Hawaii, so he was friends with Jack, and Jack had written a specific song that I played for Mike. So anytime I'm reading emails to Mike, even though he's in this like kind of unconscious mode, he would start like, his arms would start moving, his face like he was like almost like he wanted to rise up. out of the bed, and I was like, oh my God, this is unreal. And that was tough. It was a tough loss on everyone, but he had, severe Parkinson's, and it was tough on the family dealing with that. But other than that, I'm in touch with, Alexandra, Jeremy, Jason, Nicole, pretty much all of them here and there. We kind of all come in waves. Yeah. It was,
and there's a new Baywatch, right?
There is.
Are you involved in?
Well, there's a good chance. I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to whammy it, but I've been advocating for the reboot for probably 10 years. Every 6 months, I'm like, why haven't we rebooted? What are we waiting for? And then they finally got the chance. And then actually when Magnum PI came out, CBS it was Baywatch or Magnum PI, and I went on the location scout. Like I was going to be the guy. And then the movie with Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron came out, and nothing against them. I thought it was funny as hell, but it destroyed the Baywatch brand. Oh. So CBS was like, sorry guys, we're not touching that thing. So they went with Magnum PI. All these years later, Fox picks up John Wells' show, High Surf, which they thought was a guaranteed slam dunk. Yeah. And then they picked up Baywatch. So we thought they picked up Baywatch to put their foot on its neck and hold it so it never could compete. Mm-hmm. And John Wells, I don't know the guy, but he was very adamant in how he felt. Anytime he was compared to Baywatch, he was like, this is not Baywatch, this is real lifeguarding. And guess what? His show got canceled within a few episodes. Wow.
Yeah, it did not continue.
And he was just really negative towards anybody involved in the original. Like, I'm sorry, dude, we were there 30 years before. Like, you're going to get compared.
Yep.
But finally, so it's here. They've ordered 12 episodes. I know Mick G is directing the first episode.
Oh, is it really?
Which is
From
huge. And there's a good chance. So just
most of the cast?
No, I'd be the only one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, so we gotta throw
Send out
positive
that
vibes into the
positive
universe.
vibes into the universe.
I think all the
she believes in that.
I do too.
I do too.
David and I both do.
We all
Karma.
do.
Like,
oh yes.
I think all the dogs have flown, or I'm a part of this community brigade also that I joined. It's a fire brigade in Malibu, but it's like being of service to others. If you live in that, I first of all, I love. I don't love, but when I roll up on a car accident, I am barely in park and I'm sprinting at that because I'm just like in my DNA.
Great.
Wow.
And, but I think the dogs, like the dog karma, and from the beginning, I think that the universe is going to be like, you deserve like a little bit of love.
100%.
Boom, here you go. You're on the show, buddy.
100%.
So-
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're sending positive vibes.
Yes,
It's gonna happen.
We're gonna do a little chant.
Yeah, because you're doing such great work, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you.
Yeah,
really
and
are.
I honestly I don't. I mean, I'm emotionally. I was invested in the sense that I know I could really help the show because. I don't think you can find a lot of actors who have. I surf for that's my main hobby.
Wow.
Like I'm in the ocean all the time. It's hard to find actors who can drive boats.
Yeah.
We'd have wave runners. So like if that's the camera crew, would be in at Venice Pier. The crew would be on sticks in the water.
Wow.
But we're trying to shoot open ocean, and you got to drive your wave runner kind of full speed, spin it, stall it, deliver a line off camera to whoever is supposed to be over there, and then take off. And myself and Mike Newman were like pretty much the only ones who could do it on the wave runners because it takes super long time to practice that, like where you can fly and stall it without hitting. And everybody else is like Michael Bergen, and he won't even care because he's hilarious. He's like he's my realtor, by the way. He's the best. He's the best realtor in LA, FYI.
Wow,
Michael Bergen. But he'd be crashing into rocks, and Carmen would be afraid of the water if she was 1 inch over her head, and she's not afraid of me telling that story. She was awesome. I love her. But it's hard to get people who can do all those things. So
I think you've put it out in the universe, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
so.
and if it doesn't, I can keep flying dogs and helping.
No, don't say that. If it will happen.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in manifesting.
I think when you put something out in the world, it happens.
That's what I keep telling them. I'm like, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Manifestation is real. If you can really commit to that belief, like you can make things. It's like quantum physics. Like you can actually. If you dive deep on what that is, you can change the outcome of the future with your by your beliefs, which is really almost like weird. It's like almost, I don't know. At first I was like, how is that possible? But if you really read the literature on it, it's totally possible. So
You know what? Like when Melissa had said, "Oh, let's have David on the show," it's like perfect. But meeting you as well, you are so down to earth.
Yeah.
You are so. I mean, like it's amazing because after being on such an iconic show, right?
yeah.
A lot of people usually have this ego, but you
Yeah.
come in, you're just like Melissa was like, you're just gonna love. I mean, you're just incredible, and it's wonderful to hear your passion about the animal rescue and
Yeah.
all the things that you're doing, and your new project, which
Yes.
Yeah, you
Bodyman.
tee it up. You
oh
tee
my
it up.
gosh, it's an amazing movie. I cannot wait for everybody to see it. David is such an asset in this movie. He's amazing in this film.
so
and
what
I
what's your
can't wait.
character?
It's so I don't come in till like halfway through the story, but the way they wrote it, it was Michelle and Sean Kanan, who I love, and I talked to Michelle. I'd never actually met her, but I've known Sean for years. We're just always like we kind of came up together, but he was on soaps but Michelle and I just hit it off over the phone. She talks just like me. We have the same kind of belief system. Every other word is in swear. Like that's in New England, people come to my house if it's a Patriots
Is she
game.
from New England?
No, but just she talked the same way I did. Like people come over to my house like during a Patriots game.
Yeah.
It sounds
made it
like,
to
and
the
my mom
Super
is
Bowl. I
included.
gotta say
yeah,
that, right?
Yeah, this is a big year.
They made it to
Yes,
the
I
Super
cannot
Bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're legit.
My hometown
And-
Yes.
and my favorite team
yeah,
at the same time.
but we're
Patriots.
like, if you walked in and you didn't even see us, you'd be like, wow, that's a bunch of sailors in there. Like, and you'd walk in, you see my mom, who's like now 84, but everybody's like, we're just like, dude, that's the way it is in New England. It's just like every third word. But I don't know, where was I going with that?
No, about your
Bodyman. Yeah.
character,
So
yes.
anyway, yeah, Michelle and I hit it off of the phone, and then she basically just said, there's an opportunity. We can't really pay you a lot more, but if you're willing to just like kind of show up, I can add you to some scenes. And I'm a big believer in just like add me to the scenes. I don't need the extra pay right now. I'd love it, but let me go prove myself. And it's sure enough, like I show up and I just found moments because he was written very straight. He's basically a killer. Works for the CIA, but he also works in and out of the political world. So he's like, he knows how to pull strings in DC and has leverage on all these people that most people don't. He speaks like 7 languages,
Wow.
but he is also a straight up assassin. But so I wanted to bring a more human side to him, and I found places to insert like really dry, like comedy where they were just like behind the monitor going, "Oh my
That's
God, dude, that is
fantastic.
gold."
Wow.
And I got to do an interrogation scene. Like Jonathan Sheck's in it, and for some reason Jonathan didn't want to do the scene. I was like, "Bro," and Michelle's like, "Do you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yes." It was like an improv scene. This guy comes down at the gala, he's stealing something out of our boss's car. Where she's on protect, we're on watch for her because the cartel's after her, and we chase him down,
yeah, it's
pin him up against a tree, and I go off on this improv where it's like, I go nuts, to the point where Sheck is looking at me like, dude, when are you gonna end this? Like, but it was so good. Like I snap a picture because I think he's lying. I pretend to send it to our tech team. I just ask him his name, and he says his name. I go, okay. I go, look at the camera. He doesn't look at the camera. I pull out my gun. I stick it under his chin. I'm like, look at the camera. Snap a picture. Okay. Got it. And I'm like, what's your name? That's not your real name. And I like, your name's Phil Cronin. You live in your mother's basement. You play video games. You're blah, 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 blah. If we
Just
ever see
blew
your
it.
face, then I just kept going and going and going. I go, we will erase your family. I will come over there. And your uncle in Swampscott. Like,
Yeah.
I went on and on and on. They were just like, oh my God, dude, genius.
Yes.
Wow.
It was like the best because it was just like, I was just like a stream of consciousness. And I wasn't screaming at the kid. I was just, and then as I'm walking off, I'm like, move out of your mother's basement, get an effing life. It was something like hilarious. And like, it worked. They were like, that wasn't in the script. And it just, so they kept adding me to a lot of scenes.
for you.
Yeah,
That's
and it was fun.
fantastic.
It was a really awesome. I mean, Melissa's amazing. They unfortunately kind of kept giving her lines to someone else. We're not sure why.
Well, she's you're coming back.
Oh, she'll be back.
Yeah, so,
yeah, she has such a good presence. Like she's perfect in it. Like everybody, even we had Chris Forsberg, who's a Formula One drift driver.
Yeah,
He hadn't really, he'd done a little bit of acting, but he started to feel it. He got good. We had an incredible DP who just was always smiling and always like just adapting to whatever the environment was. And everybody was like, we had Frankie Loyal, is that his? He was on Sons of Anarchy and Mayans, and then also Emilio
Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera, both
Yeah.
incredible. And I have this
Tom
scene
Arnold,
with
yeah.
Frankie.
Yeah.
It's so good. We think she gets captured by the cartel. We
Wow.
extract her. As we're coming out, we hit a federale stop, like us, the checkpoint, and we're like, oh man. And I'm like, I got this. And so I go up. I have this whole scene with Frankie. I think I'm saying it right. Isn't it Loyal?
I think so.
It's L-O. He'll kill me, but he's a
Sorry,
full
Frankie.
like just gangster when you look at him, and his performance was like just cold as ice.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
but so I learned some Spanish for the scene. And
Where
it
did
wa-
you guys shoot?
over.
All over, yeah.
California
Yeah.
or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was all
Yeah.
over the place.
all
Okay,
over.
so you
Yeah.
did Palm Springs. and-
Santa Clarita, I think, weren't we?
We were in Santa Clarita. Was it Santa Clarita? No, it was Tuna Canyon.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
La
yeah, yeah.
Tuna Canyon.
We
So
had
it's
a-
not that far from Burbank.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a really cool location.
Yeah, we did it there. We shot out, and God, we were all over. The
Yeah,
place.
So
everywhere.
when does it come out? Do you know when the movie premieres or?
Hopefully next month.
Yeah,
Oh.
I know they're trying to just fine tune the edit.
Yeah.
Is it going to be released or? Is
I
it
think
gonna
they're
be on
trying to go
streaming
theatrical.
or-
Like
Okay.
it's like, I don't know. I used to love watching movies. Now I don't. I can't find anything. I try a movie and I'm like, I'd rather go clean my garage, which
Is it
I'll
because
go-
you have a daughter?
I have a
right?
daughter too, but I like keeping. I get up at like 4 a.m. every day, and I cook dinner, and then I'll sit for 10 minutes. And,
Wow, you cook dinner.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh my goodness.
Or not every
does
night,
it
but
all.
I cook dinner and I like it. But I also like, I don't sit around. I keep moving until literally like 11 o'clock, when I'm like almost falling over, and then I go to bed and I massage gun my body for 2 minutes, and then I'm like out.
It's funny because we were having the screening and we're all on the carpet and we're posing, and Sean's behind me going, "Where's Chokachi?" And I'm like, I don't know. And we're smiling. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna text him." You
So
know,
where
and
was
he was
he?
hiking.
Yeah.
So you would
He is
rather.
constantly outside doing something.
Yeah, because I was
He's
down
so
there. I'm like,
active.
I'm not going to go to some inside gym. I have this because part of the brigade, like, in order to pass the test to get the final, it's like 60 hours of
Wow.
training, but
Yeah.
you got to do a pack test where you carry 45 pounds of weight, 45 minutes, 3 miles. So I got into rucking. It's called rucking, but it's basically just weights in a pack,
Yeah.
and you walk. And so I found this hike as I'm driving down, and it was right near the hotel, and I got just so, it was such a beautiful day.
Wow.
And I kept going and going and going, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm super late. So with 40 pounds on, I had to like run like to the point where I was like almost puking back to my car. I had like a portable shower, and I'm like literally showering with like there's dirt all over the floor. I'm in mud. I'm like throw on nice
You're
clothes,
so fun. Oh my gosh.
race over to the hotel.
I see him
Wow.
running. I see him running, and he's looking at his watch.
Did you make it?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
barely.
made it. He barely made it, but he made it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Are you? So you have one kid or just
One. She's
Is
14.
Is
Yeah.
she gonna be? Is she trying to get into the industry?
No,
as well?
I mean, I put her in 2 movies when she was younger, only because I was producing, and they were cool. One was a period piece. That was a really neat little role. She was much younger, but she's not that interested really.
But she's still too young.
Yeah, she's just she doesn't even watch she doesn't watch Baywatch. I'm
I was
like,
about to
what's
say,
wrong
how
with
does she
you?
think of Dad as, Cody
That's
Madison? What does she
iconic.
think
I
of
mean,
that?
I find these like her buddies because of the junior lifeguard program. The boys are like, dude, your dad's a legend. We need to watch some of his shows. So one of the friends has a screening room, and they were all in there, and it was like someone was recording them watching me, and it was awesome.
Oh, that's-
But she's still only seen about 20 minutes total.
That's
Oh,
fun.
wow.
I mean, the industry has changed so much since
Yeah.
you started, right?
Oh, yeah,
I
it's-
mean, what is your advice for young actors trying to get into this crazy business?
Yeah.
I think first of all, you have to have you don't have a fallback plan. You want to burn the boats, but you got to make money. So when I got out here I moved into, after Larrabee, I moved into this kind of very lower income, but it was on the edge of Brentwood, but it was just kind of a dump. And as I'm moving in, I'm walking up the stairs, and there's a guy renovating the building, and I'm like, hey man, I'm really good with a hammer if you ever need help. And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Wow.
Next morning at 7 a.m., he's like, do you want to
Knocked on your door.
He's like, do you want to go to work? I was like,
Wow.
yep. I was out the door. I worked with him all the way up. I got Baywatch with him, and I didn't abandon him. I stayed with him until like 2 weeks before shooting.
Wow.
And he was like, that is rare that you just, like, you stayed. You could have just been like, dude, I got Baywatch, I'm out. But he was cool. He'd let me go on auditions, come back. I'd show up an audition covered in like plaster and like dirt and like
Wow.
same thing, showering outside the car, boom, back on the job site.
It's like Caitlin, she works for United Airlines after 40-something years on
Oh, Kate Linder.
Kate Linder.
Really?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
still working as a flight attendant.
Yeah, you
She's
gotta
been
have
on
like
the
a.
soaps for
God,
40.
Yeah.
Wow,
Years.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I really like that because I think it's a temporary job, right? It's very cyclical. You can be
Yeah.
working and then you go through periods of, and so for you, how did you cope with?
I used to
the
be
in-betweens.
Yeah, I used to be much more when I was younger. I was really invested in wanting to like advance my career, and Witchblade was a big step up. It was an amazing show that unfortunately got canceled early because of some I don't know how you describe it, but unfortunate circumstances. But it should have gone 8 years.
Yeah.
Like great. I mean, we had Roger Daltrey. We had a showrunner that was light years ahead of people. I would back then when I was younger, I was really like kind of attached to like moving up the ranks, and I would definitely struggle in between. Like I think an actor's job in reality is staying sane in between jobs, because when you're on set, it's like, hallelujah, okay, let's do this, whatever we're doing. I don't even care what it is, but we're on set, we're making something.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then as soon as it's over, you're like back to like,
What do I do?
Oh.
Real life.
yeah, yeah. So
We talked about
Yeah, we
this.
did.
We
We
do
talked
talk
about
about it all the time. I mean, it's easier for you to because I mean, like I do marketing as well, right? I work for companies like American Express.
Okay.
So in between, but we talk about this. It's something she and I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
We go through the ups
Highs and
the
lows.
highs and lows.
Yeah.
It's very challenging, and you're so right that you have to have
yeah.
something else to fall back on.
Yeah, and it's like, you don't, another thing, like I was told, like, there used to be a thing called, remember the casting log? So it was like a magazine, and when I was on Witchblade, the woman called me, was like, will you do an interview for it? And she just asked, what's my approach to life? And I said, well, I went on semester at sea at college. We went around the world. Like that blew my mind. I'm always leaving LA, even though my agents and my roommates were like, we're staying.
We talked
We don't
about
want to miss
this.
auditions.
Wow.
And I told her how I go camping or fishing or in Alaska. And she's like, that is the best answer I've ever heard from an actor, because you go experiencing life, you bring something back, so when you have an audition, you have something to draw from, as
Yeah.
opposed to sitting in the classroom. You're not going to gain any
I
life
like
experience.
that.
So
Yeah.
that's
Oh my
good
goodness.
advice too.
This has been such an
This has been awesome. I could go on for hours.
Incredible!
going.
What a way to end the season.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
We've got 2 minutes left, and if you were to have dinner with 3 people dead or alive, who would it be and why? And you gotta come back next
Okay.
season. You've
Wow.
got so much
After the
more.
movie's released.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love
seriously.
to. I could
next-
dive so much deeper. I could go
Oh my
on
goodness,
and on.
we love it. Season 4. Okay, so if you were to have dinner with 3 people dead or alive, who would it be?
Wow, that's so hard. There's so many people. Maybe Brad Pitt, but when he was younger, when he was more.
You know him, right?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But he was obsessed with Baywatch.
Everyone was obsessed
when we were in the makeup trailer, one of them, they had worked with him on something, and he had all the jackets on, and he was pretending to save lives. And
Everyone
they had
was
Polaroids.
obsessed with Baywatch.
But I love some of his movies. I think, especially Seven, like those
Seven,
movies
yeah.
and Fight Club. They were just like, those were like movies I was gripped by. Who about maybe Tom Brady and maybe Drake May. I don't know.
I love it. Tom
Drake
Brady.
May.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
And maybe let's see. Wait, I gotta throw in one UFC guy. Let's see. Who's the guy? I don't know. I like this guy who just lost, Patty Pimblett. I love him. He was a warrior. So, Patty, shout out to you, man. You fought the fight of a life. Oh my God. I was
David,
like, wow.
thank you so much. It's been so good meeting you, having
too.
you here, and good luck with Bodyman.
Yes.
And
Thank you for bringing
and the
me in.
sequel. Thank you. This has been great, Melissa.
Yep. Happy third season.
What a great way to end the season. Thank you for co-hosting. Roger, who's left because he's doing something else. Thank you, Roger, for all you did this season. Asher, thank you. And Slap Studios, thank you guys. Rick and Bree, thank you. And again, thank you, David, for being here with
thank
us.
you.
Amazing.
You guys are
Melissa,
awesome.
Love you.
what a good way to end with you.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember to watch this episode with David on the Discovery Pod with Ease YouTube channel, or you could listen to us on your favorite podcast platform. Again, thank you everyone for watching. You never know who's going to stop by, so continue to watch every Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific. And remember to stay tuned for this episode with David.